Hey kiddos, Miss Torrance here. I have a little bit of a sore throat, as you can tell, so bear with me. I'll try to take it easy on you. I know y'all have headphones on, and when people cough and you have headphones, it can really, you know, aggravate your ear. So I apologize ahead of time, okay? So, so this book right here. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this. Okay, so anytime you have a book, you always want to think about the things that you learn in the book. So think within the book or the text, think beyond the text. So think outside the box, and then think about the text. Okay, think about within the text how the writer presents the information. Okay, so things that you should think about when you're thinking about within the text is that these kids, Anaya and Ken, have known each other since they were baby. Their mothers are friends. They like playing tricks on each other, okay? And they tell their mothers about the tricks, but they don't tell their teacher, okay? So Anaya and Ken, when you think beyond the text, um, they don't want their best enemy relationship to stop, okay? And they don't want it to get them in trouble either. They're very competitive kids. They like thinking up new tricks. Anaya and Ken don't really hate each other. In fact, they like their relationship. So, best enemy is like a kind of friendship. Okay, they're trying to be the best enemy. So even though so now we got to think about how the author is presenting this information. So the writer, they give you hints that they really like one another. Okay, so when a problem arises and their pranks start affecting their mom's friendship, the writer leaves it up to you, the reader, to predict how the problem will be resolved. Okay, so think about how you think they're going to solve this problem. Okay, now remember, there's a message in every story, okay? And in this story, the author wants you to realize that sometimes people enjoy being enemies and thinking up creative ways to get even. And even means get back at them, okay? Even with one another. So people can have a special bond between them, even if they enjoy acting otherwise. So they do have a bond, but they show it in a really weird way. Okay? So there are two main characters in this book. It's almost like two stories taking place at the same time. Ken plays a trick on Anaya, and then Anaya plays a trick on Ken. They both complain to their mothers. Read pages 20 through 23, and then let's talk about how the writer begins the story, brings the story together at the end and gives the reader a new perspective of the problem. Okay, so as you're reading 20 through 23, I want you to be jotting down notes on how the writer is making you think differently. That's what perspective means, or see the problem differently, okay, than what you did before. So take some notes about that. Pages 20 through 23. Okay, stop the video now and then come back and we'll keep going. Okay, so welcome back. You notice that the story moves quicker by switching back and forth faster. You read about each of the characters for a shorter time before the switch. This is also the time when the tension increases because the mothers start taking sides and getting angry with each other. Do you think Anaya and Ken realize something about themselves at this point? Do you think they realize how they are affecting their parents too? So read page 24 again, okay? What do you predict will happen after the story ends? So I want you to jot a note and I want you to stop the video and talk to your partner about it, okay? See you when you get back. Okay, friends, turn to page 18, okay? Your vocabulary word is presentation, okay? Go ahead and find that and run your finger across it as you say it, presentation. Okay, and I also want you to think about how many syllables are in this word, okay? Presentation. Notice that each one is a closed, well, that first syllable is a closed syllable. Presentation. Okay, you got three closed syllables in there. Remember, a closed syllable has the CVC pattern, consonant, vowel, consonant. So anytime you have a syllable and you scoop it, you want to make sure you're closing that vowel in, okay? And if you can't, then that's called an open syllable, okay? So with a partner, I want you to just share your definition of, well, actually, no. Don't stop the video. Jot down what you think presentation is, okay? So when I think of that word, I see the word present, okay? And I know present is like how you show or if you give somebody something. So presentation is a noun because it has the suffix tion. Remember, suffixes come at the end of the base word, okay? Remember that. So present is a word that has several meanings. It also has different pronunciations. If you say the word with an accent on the first syllable, it is pronounced differently and has a different meaning. Present. This word, present, this word means either a gift or here, right now. So like if someone calls your name, you're like present, okay? You're either here, or if you give somebody a birthday present, you're giving them a gift, okay? So today you will learn that two words can be spelled the same but have different pronunciations and different definitions, okay? So you'll learn that in your word study. So what I want you to do is look at page 24. Okay, and I want you to listen while I read it and notice what I do with my voice, and I'll try my hardest, okay? In his room that night, Ken plotted how to get Anaya in trouble at school the next day. He didn't know it, but just down the block, Anaya was staring at a new trap she was planning for Ken. So do you notice what I did with my voice? Did you notice my voice went up and down in one sentence and I stressed or emphasized some words more than others? So we can read the page in a way that shows what is going on, what is going to keep on happening to the characters and best enemies, okay? So I want you to go ahead and try that, okay? And I'll do it one more time. I know my voice is a little rickety, okay? So I'll try it one more time, okay? And then I want you to try it. Page 24. In his room that night, Ken plotted how to get Anaya in trouble at school the next day. Cough coming. He didn't know it, but just down the block, Anaya was staring at a new trap she was planning for Ken. Okay, so notice how I made that interesting. Okay, so for this book, I want you, well, actually, we're going to work on the vowel pattern OR, okay, or. So your words are formal, gorgeous, normal, order, distort, import, inform, and resort. So those last four words have the stress in the second syllable, okay? The first four words that I said have the accent or stress in the in the first syllable, okay? So words like border, corner, perform, report, okay? So you're gonna have those in your little on your little word list, okay? So I want you to make sure you cut those out, and I want you to notice, tell me what you notice. Well, actually, when you're working with your partner or working by yourself, I want you to think about what you notice. Okay, you notice that all the words have the vowel pattern or in either the first or the second syllable. So wherever that or is, that's where your stress or your accent is going to be. Okay, so perform. So the OR is in the second syllable, so that's where the accent is, okay? Report. Port has the OR sound. It's going to be there. You're going to put your accent or your stress in the second syllable, okay? Border. When you scoop, OR is in the first syllable, so you're going to put your accent there. Here comes a cough. Okay? Import. OR is in the second syllable. There's your stress. Normal. OR is in the first syllable. That's where your stress is. So I want y'all to go ahead and practice scooping, and I want y'all to identify where the stress is, so where you put more emphasis on that word. Okay. Go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you back. Okay. Okay, so here's your new book. Welcome back. It's called ER Vets to the Rescue by Laura Tabert. Okay, here you go. So your genre focus. This nonfiction expository text is written to describe the work of emergency room veterinarians. It provides examples of animals in distress and explain methods of diagnosis and treatment. It includes case histories of 3 animals. Here comes a cough. Excuse me. So your new book is an informational text titled ER Rescue, ER Vets to the Rescue. Okay, so I want you to read the information on the back cover, okay? And I want you to be thinking about what you think this book is going to be about. So look at the x-ray on page 3. That's an x-ray of a dog's stomach. What's the problem? So what is the problem on page 3? This dog Bailey had to have emergency surgery to remove a toy duck. Being a veterinarian is like being a doctor for humans. Veterinarians need to make quick decisions. One of the differences is that animals cannot explain how they feel, so the doctor has to make a diagnosis, sometimes with very little information. So a diagnosis means you have to the doctor has to tell you what's wrong. Turn to page 4 and read the section heading. What kind of information will you find in this section? Think about it. The x-ray really helps the ER vet to know what the animals have eaten. Many animals explore by mouthing, putting things in their mouths, tasting, chewing, and sometimes swallowing things they shouldn't. So do babies, right? If you have a baby brother or sister. Okay, so look at page 6 and find the word symptoms. It's in bold in the second paragraph. Go to the glossary and read the definition. Okay, a change in the body that shows that a disease is present. If you have a cold, your symptoms might be a runny nose or sneezing. The ER vet has to look at each animal's symptoms quickly and make a decision. Turn to page 9. Okay, you will read some short descriptions of cases. You can tell at a glance what they are about by the titles. Casey the dog is the first case. What's her emergency? That must be very painful, right? You'll read how they helped Casey. Here comes the call. You'll also read about Fred the parrot and Barnaby the horse. Okay, starting on page 10, Okay, you'll read an interview with Dr. Janet Barnhart, who is a real ER vet. So you can expect to read questions and Dr. Barnett Barnhart's answers. So it's like a question and answer format. Okay. Um, so page 12 has a pretty cool word. Amphibians. You see, oh, at the bottom in the tan part, amphibians. Okay. So look that up in the glossary so you know what that is. Okay. Do that now. All right, now as you read, think about what makes the ER vet's job especially challenging. Read, remember that you can look at the glossary for definitions of words in bold. So now I want you to read this book from start to finish and come back and let's talk about it, okay? Make sure you take sticky notes on how this job is so challenging. Okay, that's your focus on your sticky notes. Okay, and pause the video and come back. Excuse me. Okay, so let's revisit this text. So, what did you learn that makes the ER vet's job especially challenging? So take us to the page where you found this information. So I want you to do that with your partners now. Okay? And then come back. So pause the video. Okay, welcome back. Animals can be in danger of dying, so the vets have to act fast. How do they use tools to help them? Again, take us to the page where you found your information. Do that now. Here comes the cough. Okay, so what did you learn from the interview with Dr. Barnhart? Go ahead and talk to your partner about that. Okay, so remember, friends, anytime you read a book, you have to think within the text the things that you're learning, right? Then you have to think beyond the text. You got to make connections, right? And then you have to think about how the author's organizing the book, right? So things that you should remember is that ER vets work very ER doctors' work is similar to emergency room doctors, okay, like the human doctors, like the doctors that work on humans. So ER doctors, emergency vet doctors often have to make fast decisions to save lives. And remember, x-rays are tools and they help the ER vet examine their dog and their patient and diagnose a problem. Okay, and animals can't tell vets what's wrong, so they have to pay attention to the clues, right? So thinking beyond the text, so ER vets must have great compassion for animals. Okay, that means they really care about the animals. The pet owners are thankful for the ER vets available when their pets are in distress. Yeah, so if it's late at night and you need a emergency doctor for your vet, people are grateful when there's someone available, okay? So their pets don't have to suffer. So being an ER vet is a very rewarding profession, okay? It's rewarding on the inside of with your heart. Okay? So when you think about the text, think about the author shows how ER vets are like ER doctors. She gives you examples and comparisons. The author includes an interview, which makes it the presentation of the information more effective. And then the author describes problems and shows solutions. Okay. So remember, there's a message in every book. So here's your message. Taking care of pets can be more difficult than taking care of people because pets can't talk. Professionals who care for The animals have to observe the animal's behaviors carefully and make a decision, okay? So, I want you to read page 12 and 14 real quick. Go ahead and do that. 12 through 14, so 12, 13, and 14, okay? So look at the 4 interview questions on page 12 to 14. Interviewers try to ask good questions so that they get interesting information. Do you think these questions are good, and why? Okay, so first question, second question, third and fourth. There's 4 questions, okay? Do you think these are good questions? Talk to your partner. Pause video. Okay, welcome back. So because the interviewer asks for unusual cases, the subject, the person being interviewed, describes some really interesting emergencies. So also, it's always interesting to know why people decide to enter a profession like this. So did this book make you appreciate or admire ER vets? Talk to your partner about why or why it did not. Okay? See you later. Bye.